Welcome to my YouTube channel Pharmacy Lessons Made Easy. Today I have taken a very interesting topic that every student is concerned about: how to score good marks in your exams. This is not at all defined what is going to be asked in any of the question paper, because question paper doesn't repeat itself. But at the same time, there are certain important topics that you should emphasize upon, not only for scoring good marks, but that will be helpful for you in your higher classes as well. So you have to focus on those important questions and the topics, so that that will be useful for you in the future as well. Okay, so let's discuss the most commonly asked questions in the subject Physical Pharmaceutics-II theory. See, I shall discuss them module wise or unit wise. There are actually total 5 units as per Pharmacy Council of India, that is PCI syllabus. However, if your university or college has not reduced your syllabus due to COVID-19 situation, the question from the entire syllabus will come in your exam. But if it is reduced, this video will be helpful for you, as I am discussing the most commonly asked questions module wise or unit wise. In some cases, some units have more weightage, and that is generally mentioned in your syllabus or the course structure that you may receive in your online system, or that may be circulated by your university or the college. So do read that carefully, as the division of marks is in the same proportion. For example, if more weightage is given to unit 5, then more marks will also might have been devoted to the same. So the more the weightage of that particular unit is, the more questions marks distribution may be there. So you have to be very much attentive in that part as well. Also, during this I shall provide you some tips how to attempt a question paper while writing your answers. Okay, so as per PCI scheme, your whole question paper is divided into 3 different sections: section A, section B, and section C. Out of them, the section A has 20 marks in total, and there is no choice among the questions. The total 20 marks are very easy to be scored, as there are very short answer type questions which are usually asked, and many times they are in either multiple choice question mode, or in the fill in the blanks mode, or match the following types, or true and false type, or simple definition types. That means it is at the beginning level, so it will be easy for you to score well in that particular section. Okay, so please note that in that particular section A there is no choice. In section B, there will be 3 questions, and out of them you have to attempt any 2. Okay, and each of them will be of 10 marks. The important point to be noted here is that it is not necessary that the whole question, the single question, will be asked. It may be asked in subdivisions like part A and part B. Maybe part A and B carry equal marks. Maybe they come from the same unit, or they may also come from different unit as well. So prepare yourself accordingly. And maybe the distribution is not equal, that maybe like A part carries 6 marks and B part carries 4 marks, or it may be of 5 marks each. That is how the division may be. It totally depends on the examiner. If we talk about the section C, there will be total 9 questions, and you have to attempt any 7 out of those 9 questions, and each question will be of 5 marks. So For that particular 5 mark question, you have to prepare in your mind the strategy before attempting that, up to what depth you are going to answer that particular question. So now let's have a look at the module wise division of the subtopics and the most probable questions that may be asked that you have to emphasize more upon. Okay, so in the module 1, the subtopics that are mentioned in the module 1, which is colloidal dispersion. The subtopics are the classification of dispersed system and their general characteristics. From this subtopic, the question can be, what is a dispersion system? You might be asked to classify the dispersed systems and what are the general characteristics of them. So that may be of maximum 5 marks. Next thing is similarly the classification of uh, dispersed system and general characteristics can be the size and shape of the colloidal particles. A very short answer type question may be asked, but that is not generally asked if we see the pattern of the previously asked question papers. Other thing is classification of colloids and comparative account of their general properties. So from this subtopic, the question which is generally asked is what are colloids, classify them, and give a comparative account on the different classifications of colloids like lyophilic, lyophobic. So what, how they are different. Okay, so it can be in the form of a table. So table would be a better representation because all the points will be compared at a single glance. The next subtopic is the optical, kinetic, and electrical properties, the effect of electrolyte, coagulation, peptidization, and protective action. So, a brief note on the general properties of colloids may be asked, and other than that, a particular property can also be asked from this particular subtopic. And if we talk about the last one, the effect of electrolyte can be a very short, or you can say maximum 5 mark question, note about that. And the protective action and peptidation, the most important question which is generally asked is writing a note on the protective colloid, or what are protective colloids and what do you understand by the term gold number. And in multiple choice questions, there may be given multiple options to you that what is gold number as per your understanding. Okay, so it may be asked in multiple choice questions. There will be different options and you have to choose what actually is the definition of this gold number. Okay, so this way you have to prepare module 1 keeping in view the important question that might be asked and the marks up to which that question can be asked. So accordingly you can plan your strategy for module 1. Moving to the module 2, which is rheology and deformation of solids, the subtopics include firstly rheology, which is Newtonian system, law of flow, kinematic viscosity, effect of temperature, non-Newtonian systems, pseudoplastics, dilatant, plastic, thixotropin formulation, how to determine the viscosity, capillary, falling sphere, rotational viscometers. This will be followed by deformation of solids, which include plastic and elastic deformation, Huckel equation, the stress strain, and elastic modulus. So the very first question that I would emphasize upon is how and you will differentiate Newtonian and non-Newtonian types of flow system. So both systems you should understand what is their difference, and because they are based on Newtonian's law, so accordingly you must be aware of that Newton's law related to the flow of fluid, that is law of flow. uh, Other than this, you might be asked what is the difference between different types of system. Like it may be asked what is the difference between plastic and pseudoplastic, or dilatant and pseudoplastic, or uh, plastic and you can say dilatant. So that way it might be asked. Many of the examiner have asked what is the rheogram for such systems on comparative basis. You must be able to differentiate and explain the rheogram of all those systems. And sometimes, because kinematic viscosity is also mentioned, you should understand what actually is the definition of viscosity and what are the methods of determining the viscosity of the liquid. So among them, which one is a single point and which one is a multi-point viscometer. So that way you should focus your studies accordingly. And regarding the second sub part of module 2, that is deformation of solid, the most important topic would be what is plastic and elastic deformation of solids and what is the difference between them. And many a times the Huckel equation has been asked, and where do you apply that Huckel equation? So this is how you have to prepare your strategy for module 2. If we talk about module or unit 3, the name of the unit is coarse dispersion. So the subtopics include suspension, followed by emulsions. So in suspension, the interfacial properties of suspended particles, settling, formulation of flocculated and deflocculated suspension. These are the subtopics. So the question can be asked like, describe the properties of dispersion and define suspensions, describe their properties. And they may also ask you how you will differentiate flocculated and deflocculated suspension. And you might be asked to write a note on suspension stability and what is your understanding about the settling or the sedimentation rate of the suspensions. Okay, so that way you must be aware of the Stokes law and how it can be applied. Other than that, if we talk about emulsions, the theory of emulsion, emulsification, and stability of emulsions are very important, and it might be asked to write the brief note on theories of emulsification and stability on emulsion. And what is an emulsion and how you will preserve an emulsion, that can also be asked. And the last part, which is the most important one, is HLB method. It is also important from multiple choice questions point of view as well. You might be given the value of HLB and you have to choose that which type of surfactant it is or which property it will offer, whether it will act as a detergent or a wetting agent, or it will be used as an emulsifier for oil in water type emulsion or water in oil type emulsion. So that way. Other than that, the most important thing is a numerical can also be asked, how to calculate the HLB value. And for you not only have to focus on the theoretical aspect but also try to practice some numericals based on HLB value. Not only from your theory exam point of view, for your end semester exam, HLB is very important from your GPAT perspectives as well. So, do focus on this particular topic very well. Who invented HLB is many times asked as a multiple choice question. You might be asked to draw that table which actually classify or differentiate the different values of HLB. That way you have to prepare yourself, and how to calculate HLB, the numericals based on HLB value, and what are its application. So all these you have to focus upon. What are the different types of instabilities of emulsions? So that way also you have to prepare yourself. And very short type question, maximum up to 5 marks may also be asked, because you are not in the advanced stage of novel drug delivery system. So keeping the scopes limited to physical pharmaceutics, you might be asked up to 5 marks, like what is microemulsion, what is multiple emulsion, along with its few characteristics. Okay, so you can prepare your strategy for module 3 accordingly. Let's move to module number 4. Its name is Micromeretics, and the subtopics include particle size and distribution, the mean particle size, number and weight distribution, particle number, method of determining particle size by different methods, counting and separation method, particle shape, specific surface, the method of determining surface area, permeability, adsorption, the derived properties of powders, porosity, packing arrangement, densities, bulkiness, and flow properties. So, most of its content you might have witnessed in your practicals as well. So, preparing for this particular unit may cover at least 3 to 4 practicals of your syllabus as well. So, if we talk about the important or the commonly asked question, the very first one may ask you what is the definition of the term micromeritics, and it might come in your multiple choice questions that micromeritics may be defined as. So that way you have to prepare yourself. After that, you might be asked to write about what is particle size and what is particle size distribution. The most important and most commonly asked question is what are the different methods of determining particle size? And thirdly, you may be asked to write a note on the method of determining the surface area of the particles. So you have to focus on that as well. The different methods which are used for determining the surface area of particles, the different types of diameters like projected diameter, Martin's diameter. So you must be aware of those terminologies because they may be very important from multiple choice questions point of view. Moving to the next part of the same, that is derived properties of powder, that can be asked as a note, or that can be asked specifically, like define the different types of densities of powder, how you'll determine the different types of densities. It may be asked that way. And regarding the flow property, the angle of repose is most important, and it may be asked how you will improvise the angle of repose to improvise the flow properties, and what are glidants or lubricants. So these types of questions, and probably they may be asked in your viva voce exams during practical exam as well. So I think you must focus on those uh, subtopics, and the way I am talking, you should prepare accordingly. That definitely will help you in preparing. Regarding the different types of densities, not only the density type, but also you must be aware of the different indices of the flow properties like Hausner's ratio, compressibility ratio, the compressibility index, angle of repose, what are their values, and which type of flow will be offered by that particular powder. So that way you may go through it. This is your strategy for module number 4. Now, let's move to the module number 5, the very last one, which is drug stability. The name is the drug stability, and the subtopics in that are reaction kinetics, including pseudo zero first and second order kinetics, the units of basic rate constants, determination of reaction order, the physical and chemical factors which influence the chemical degradation of pharmaceutical product, including temperature, solvent, ionic strength, dielectric constant, specific and journal acid-base catalysis, simple numerical problems, then stabilization of medicinal agents against common reaction like hydrolysis and oxidation, accelerated stability testing in the expiry dating of pharmaceutical dosage form, the photolytic degradation and its prevention. So the questions, the very important, most important one which I found the integral component of each and every question paper previously is how to do expiry dating or accelerated stability testing. So that way you might be asked to write the procedure for doing accelerated stability testing and expiry dating of pharmaceutical dosage form. Also, you might be asked to write a note on the terms like ionic strength, dielectric constant, the general acid base catalysis during stability, like hydrolysis and oxidation reaction. Considering the factors that affect the chemical degradation, you might be asked to write a note on the physical and chemical factors which may affect the kinetics of pharmaceutical product or degradation rate of the pharmaceutical product. Regarding the very first part, that is the order of the reaction, basic rate constant, you might be asked to write the short note on what is your understanding on rate of a reaction or order of a reaction, molecularity of a reaction, that way. Also, for multiple choice question, you should have the rate constants units idea, because it is the most important topic for multiple choice questions. Along with that, what is the curve for different reaction rate order, like for first order, how we shall plot the graph which is characteristic for first order, which is characteristic for second order, what is how will you represent the graph for zero order kinetics, how will you represent the graph for pseudo zero order kinetics. So all this should be on your tips. They are very important from exam point of view. Okay, and last and not but not the least, you should have an idea on the basic numerical problems, the simple numerical problems of solving the kinetics equation and the problems. Okay, expiry dating as well, t half value, what is half life, what is shelf life, in what situation you will call it as T50, in what situation you will call it as T90, and what are the different ways of prevention of degradation of pharmaceutical dosage form, like from photolytic or hydrolytic or oxidative degradation. So this was all about how you will uh, be able to prepare for your final exam. I wish you a very good luck for your final exam, and hopefully my tips and the important points will help you score good marks in your end term exam. Very good luck to all of you. Thank you everyone. Keep watching Pharmacy Lessons Made Easy.